Yeah, good morning. It's Sunday morning, and I got my ass thoroughly kicked this morning. Things have calmed down considerably now. No main, just a reefed jib, and we were doing, we couldn't go below 9 knots for a long time in the pitch black with these freaking islands all around. The iPad got wet. I couldn't, you know, when the screen gets wet, it's useless. Your fingers don't work anymore. I accidentally jibed about 10 times. Luckily, I just had the jib up, but it was a full jib then. Quite a bang. And I spilt my coffee and my glasses got wet and I couldn't see. And what else can I complain about? I could have stayed in the beautiful Puerto Don Juan, but no, I had to come out here and do this. Anyway, it's much better now. Hopefully it will continue to get better. I was not liking it. I left at 3. It's now, I don't know, like 6 o'clock in the morning or something. So it's calmed down a lot. It was blowing around 30 and gusting higher. I don't have a wind meter. I just go from experience. I used to have a wind meter, but it was freaking windy. Now it's probably like 15 or something, and manageable. I just got the autopilot to drive for the first time. Oh, and I found out also, leaving the anchorage, as soon as I got into the shit, I realized that with that the throttle cable lever broken, that provides the friction that holds the setting. So as soon as I got out of the anchorage into the shit, I needed more throttle. I get down to the engine and I advanced the throttle lever, and I come back up to the cockpit, and the engine RPM slowly creep back down because there's no friction on the engine part. It's in that knob that's broken. So learned that. I knew that already, but I didn't think of it. Anyway, doing the best we can here. It's going to be a beautiful sunrise, and maybe I can make another cup of coffee eventually, since mine is all over the boat. Have a nice day. Say hi to God for me at church. I've been talking to him all morning. I'm not a religious man until I'm at sea. Huh. Here's one for you. Max speed 14.7 this morning. I'm back to hand steering. Autopilot couldn't do it in these quartering seas. 14.7. Ericson 35, baby. Okay, that's Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. I'm halfway across the sea. I left at 3. I'm hand steering with my right hand and holding a phone with my left hand. The autopilot has steered for about 20 minutes of this 6 hours, and I just can't take its steering. It just sucks. The island ahead, maybe you can see it. I can see it. Let me see that island. Yeah, you can see it. That is the island we're going to. And I'm not very good either because I keep freaking jive. That is Isla Tiburon. And then that island over there, right there, that is Isla San Esteban. That one doesn't have any good anchorages. This one has a few, and I hope there's a space because I'm gonna need a rest after this. This thing is saying 4:30 I get there, 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 3:15, 3 o'clock. So I'm gonna get there today if all goes well. Hopefully before dark. Because if I get there dark, I don't get there. I go somewhere else. I continue with this sailing. It's kind of like a winter day out here. And I guess it's getting close to winter. I'm wearing a jacket. Alright, bye. See if I can talk and not wipe out. So this is me, and that's where I'm going, and that's an island, and that's an island, and this is water. White water is deep, the blue edges are shallow. So that's that island over there, Isla Esteban. That's here. So it's pointed that way because we're sailing. We're like as deep as we want to go, and so that later we're going to jibe and go that way. And when we go, we're going to go between the islands to get to where we're going. And when we get there to where we're going, whoop, getting too deep here. Hold on. All right. When we get to where we're going, that island there, Isla Esteban. Yeah, Isla Esteban will be in our rear view mirror. So you can see we have a ways to go. It's 29 miles to the finish point. But if we get there early enough, I want to go like another 10 miles to a different anchorage. But we'll see. Right now we're getting there. 4 o'clock, 3:15, 2 o'clock, 1:52. Take the 1:52. That's that's 5 hours from now. A little bit less, 4.5 hours. Yeah, it's gotten a lot nicer out here. The wind has gone down and the seas have gone down. I'd like the wind to stay and the seas to go flat. That's not going to happen because the wind is made, the seas are created by the wind. But that would be great. And there's days, you've seen my videos, it's, generally it's flat out here, especially out of La Paz, because they don't let you go sailing if it's windy. They close the port. But here we just go, and it was windy all night. It was gusty in the anchorage, and I knew it was going to be shit. But this is like open ocean sailing. This reminds me of sailing to Hawaii, which I thought I missed, but I'm not so sure. We'll see. All right, if I remember, I'm going to mount the camera back there. Get a little bicycle mount for my handlebars. I'll move it and get a view of the whole thing. Maybe, hopefully. I've never been able to really do that very good. And jibe the one white sail that I got up. I'm being a pussy, man. But this is, if we had crew, we'd probably have a spinnaker rope now. If we had a good driver, because these waves kick the boat around. They take the stern and they go, whoa, whoa, and then you go, whoa, whoa. It's a lot of fun. Wish you were here or wherever you want to be. Oh, you're at church. It's Sunday. Bye. let this thing steer too long, so I'm gonna take the camera down. This is so freaking crazy. I got that thing mounted with rubber bands. My camera, it's everything. Okay, the autopilot's driving. It's kind of a wild ride. So this is the cable that failed. Let's look at the hole. It failed at the other end. It's jammed it and broke at the other end. So, and that connects to that thing there. Has a fitting I just took off. I was hoping that this fishing rod I use for electrical work, I was hoping these threads would thread right into that fitting, and bam, Bob's your uncle. Just stick this thing up into the cockpit. You know, I got an extension for it. So that's still the idea, but that's not going to work that way. So I'm going to have to wire this thing. I'm going to have to wire this glow-in-the-dark fiberglass rod to that hole, and then I'm also going to take off this clamp and run it through that clamp to get the right angle on it. And then it's flexible, right? So I have a bunch more right there. So I'll just extend it up, and I should be able to push and pull that throttle from the cockpit. I'll let you know, Mike. Okay, we were slowing down a little too much. It was getting a little scary on the time there if we're going to make it before dark. So I got about a beer. I got out a beer, which I'm drinking, and that made me put up the mainsail. So now we're respectively sailing with 2 sails, and conditions are much calmer. So that's a good. We're doing 9.2. We were doing like 7 and 8 with the jib. So there you go. Bye. Hey, there's a couple of different winds blowing here, all of them light, and one comes from behind us on the right and one comes from behind us on the left. So when it goes really light and we slide around, that's leading to a jibe. I think I've done 5 jibes in 15 minutes. It's going light right now, matter of fact. Anyway, there is the largest island in Mexico. There's La Tiburon. I'm approaching the coast. I've altered the course on the iPad to the actual, where we actually want to go, which is there. I had it, the first anchorage is like here or something. So it's like quite a ways further, but I altered it so I would know, and right now, we're not going to get there. But it's only 26 miles away. See that? 20, the top number, 26.1. And I can motor at least at 5 knots. So, and it's only 11:35 in the morning. And I don't know what time it gets dark, but let's say it gets dark at 6. So I have to start motoring at like 12:30, 1 o'clock to make it there if I don't think I can sell her. So that's my calculations. We're trying to sell, but we do want to get there before dark, because I won't go in there after dark, most likely. I mean, I don't know. It'd have to be glassy calm. And the reason these first anchorages aren't going to work out is because this wind is actually, as you can see, we're headed 120 degrees east, and we're on a beam reach in this light air, and so these anchorages on that coast that we're looking at are open to the south, which means they're not going to be good. Very wavy, waves crashing on the beach type of stuff. You don't want to be anchored there, so we want to get around the corner. Oh, God help us. One more thing. I know I can motor at 5 knots, but I don't know what the current is going to be. There's a very narrow channel between this island and the mainland behind it, and the charts say extreme currents. Now, these days don't have extreme tides, but still, there's going to be current. It's either going to go slack, which is fine, against me or with me. So that is a factor. Over and out. And as the wind died to about 5 knots, a bird. That bird, he's keeping an eye on me. It's my buddy. As the wind died to about 5 knots, we decided to motor with 22.8 miles to go. And it says we'll be there at about 4 o'clock now, and that's more dependable time than it has been. It'll fluctuate, especially with that tide I was talking about. We don't know what that's doing, but whew, what a morning. It is 10 past noon, Sunday. I think I might be seeing a current line up there. The water seems to change on it. Seems this is ebby here. According to the whitecaps, we have a tailwind, which I guess is, oh yeah, it's true. A light tailwind, and so it's a little whitecappy, so this would be ebbing here. And if that is smooth up there on the other side of the line, that would be slack or flooding going our way. It doesn't show a lot of current against us, 5.3, 6.8, not in half. But that speedo is always optimistic. But yeah, it looks like something's changing right up here. We'll see what happens. Suspicions confirmed. We passed the current line. Now the current's somewhat slack or going our way. Yippee! And in case you were wondering why we were motoring, that's why. We wouldn't be getting there before dark if we were sailing. You could do it, but we'd arrive really late. And as you know, I don't go in there in the dark. Monument Pass. Gets pretty scary. It gets down to like 40 feet up here. From about 300 right here. Or 150 right here. Scary. Don't come in places at night, because that's a reef coming out this way, and that's a reef. You're coming out this way. Oh, going right down the middle. Oh, yeah. Roca La Foca, cactus covered, and Islas Turners. Behind it, barren. And dolphins. Large, lazy dolphins. We're in 38 feet of water. Reefs on either side. I'm a little nervous. Oh, they got babies with them. Large dolphins and baby dolphins. And pelicanos. "33 feet of water. Reefs. Reefs. Looks like a reef right there. I can't see it right underwater. "32 feet of water. Yeah. 35, 33. Must be boulders down there. Sayonara. That's that island, Isla Esteban, I said would be behind us when we got to where we're going. It's behind us. We're going around this point right there, and that should be it. Then we're there. And that land over there would be, let me verify in the chart, but I believe that's mainland Mexico, state of Sonora. Stand by. Yeah. So that land we're seeing there is mainland Mexico. Hermosillo. That's the capital city of state of Sonora. I flew into there. Oh, there you go. We're here, and so far it's looking great. This is Bahia de los Perros, Dog Bay. shrimp are anchored outside the bay, outside the Yachty anchorage. And there's a trolling archer looking design sailboat, like they're right on the beach. And I think we're gonna check out this shoreline. There's two little bays here. This one, that's where that guy is at here, and the shrimper is out here. Dog Bay. Looks great. Just about 12 hours. It's 3:25. I got up at 3:25 in the afternoon. I got up at 3 a.m. Probably took me half an hour to get the boat ready, make coffee, and get underway. So just about 12 hours to cross the Sea of Cortez for the second time since Wednesday. It's Sunday. See you guys in a few minutes, hopefully. (3:45) Sunday afternoon. Anchored in Bahia de los Perros, Dog Bay. So far, I like. I wish Dory was here. Dogs are allowed on this beach. That's twice that guy. I didn't see him. What is that? What is it? As soon as I turn the camera off. Oh, they're little dolphins. That's a little teeny dolphin. Oh, look, he's coming over. Oh, it's a seal. Fooled me. It's a seal. I think I can see the bottom. Looks like sand. It's pretty clear water. 27.9 feet deep. I'm hungry. Later. Want to see what heaven looks like to a thirsty sailor? Right there, my friends, right there. My countertop ice machine. My inverter. There are advantages to having to motor the last 18 or whatever miles. I'll be getting drunk tonight! Woohoo! And the only sun of the day, except for sunrise, for a few minutes when it was right in my eyes, and then it went behind the clouds and stayed there all day. I get anchored in this beautiful Bahia de los Perros, Dog Bay, and the sun comes out. Clean living, man. Clean living. Sure do wish Dory and Joanne were here. Dory would love this place. Okay, I know you're wondering what I did with that throttle. When I was leaving the boatyard, as soon as they put me in the water, my throttle cable broke. So I just idled out of the harbor there, and then I've been sailing ever since. I idled into the first anchorage. I idled to get the anchor up, then I sailed. Then I idled sailed into the second anchorage, Don Juan, and then just used idle power and a little burst by coming down here, and a little burst of power to set the anchor. But I haven't really tried the motor until this morning. And this is the throttle. This is the lever on the engine, right? That's the engine. And I was standing up because I want to show you the engine is in the middle of my living room on this boat, which is good. It's convenient, especially right now. So it's a cable well, here it is. Here's the cable that failed. It's the other end though. This part was okay. And so I got these fishing rods. I might have showed them to you before. They're for work, for fishing wires down walls, because I'm an electrician. And they also come in real handy on a boat, as you can see. So you need some kind of friction on this cable. Is built in, has built-in friction to hold it where you set it, because this thing is spring-loaded to shut the throttle. So this thing, I can open the throttle, but it won't stay open. So I got these vice grips, and I can't do the all at the same time because I only got two hands. But if I wasn't holding the camera, I'd pull this to the setting I want, and then I put this vice grip right on there, and then that holds it where I need it. Because this morning when it was freaking 30 knots or something, I'm trying to motor out of Don Juan, and the engine kept going back to idle. And you know, at the most inappropriate time. But I survived, and that's the story with the throttle for now. I'm thinking about cutting this fishing rod right there, but I just used it. I idled into this anchorage I'm at. We had a Perros Dog Bay. It's beautiful. And I stood here. I stood in the companionway looking. I was standing out in there in the cockpit, and I was able to reach this and give it a little burst to back up and set the hook. That's kind of nice, but I think I'll cut it off so I can just leave it connected and not have this thing in my way. So I think that's what I'll do after I make a rum and coke with all my ice.